Good day everyone. Are you looking for an easy and effective way to migrate your on-premise SQL Server to Azure SQL Database? Well, you are in the right place. In this video, I will walk you through a step-by-step process to seamlessly migrate your SQL Server database to Azure SQL Database using Azure Database Migration Services. DMS. Whether you are new to cloud migrations or looking for best practices, this guide will help you perform a smooth and efficient migration. So, if you're ready to modernize your database infrastructure and unlock the power of Azure SQL's database, let's get started. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth Azure tutorials. Let's begin. I'll be migrating a database called a JBDB that's present on this SQL Server instance, which is hosted on an on-premise database server. I'll be migrating this particular database across to this Azure SQL database. And if you see here, I have this database JBDB created already, but it is basically empty, doesn't have any tables at all. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first utilize the database migration assistant. Yeah. So I will use the database migration assistant, and what we'll do is we will check this database. We will analyze this database to see if there are any breaking changes that would be required before moving this particular database across to Azure SQL Database. We will open the database migration assistant. Yeah, the data migration assistant. Let's click on this new here plus, and then let's name it. I'm naming it as JVDB assessment. Yeah, assessment type would be database engine. Source type is SQL Server, and target server type is Azure SQL Database. Let's click on create here. Then let's click on next here. I'm going to provide the source database server here. I'm going to use Windows authentication. Let's connect to it. And then I will select this database JVDB, which I want data migration assistant to analyze. So let's click on start assessment. So the assessment is completed here. Yep. So what I'm seeing is as far as the Azure SQL database migration is concerned, we are able to see we have utilized trace flag 1117 and 1118. That we will not be utilizing on the Azure SQL database, so I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Yeah, everything I think looks good. I don't have any other issues here. Yeah, so now let's this is for the SQL Server feature parity. Now let's look at the compatibility issues. And as far as the compatibility issue is concerned, I don't see any issues at all. So we are good to go. Yeah. So now what we'll do is let's head to our portal here, and then click on this Azure Database Migration Services. Yeah. You can search that on create resources as well. So let's click on create here, and click on select. Let's use an existing resource group. In my case, if you want to create a new one, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to place this DMS in West US 2, and let's name it as JBDMS. Let's click on review and create, and then let's create it. Okay, so the deployment is completed now. Let's go to the resource. Now let's click on this new migration here, and then now the source server type is SQL Server, and the target server type would be Azure SQL Database. Now as soon as I select that, yeah, what is happening? Let me click on this new migration here, and then the source server type is SQL Server, and then the target server type would be Azure SQL Database. And as soon as I selected Azure SQL Database, this is basically telling this scenario is currently disabled and requires a self-hosted integration runtime. Yeah. So let's configure the self-hosted integration runtime. I've already downloaded it, but if you want, you can go ahead and download that. Let's run the integration runtime. Now let's click on next, accept the license agreement, and then install this. Once the installation completes, what we'll do is we will use one of the key here, yeah, and then we will configure the integration runtime. Installation is still going on. Let's wait for it to complete. Okay, so the installation is completed now. Let's click on finish. Okay, so let's copy this key, yeah, and then paste it here, and then click on register. It's gonna take a couple of minutes to register. So if you can see here, in my case it is registered. So let's click on finish here. So it is currently initializing the integration runtime. Let's give it a couple of more minutes and it should be done with the registration. Yeah. Okay, so the integration runtime self-hosted, it is now registered successfully. So let's click on close. Now click on OK. And as soon as you click on OK, the particular error message is no more there. So the source server type is SQL Server and the target server is Azure SQL Database. So now let's click on select. One thing to note is you don't have an option of online for Azure SQL Database. It is going to be offline only. So let's select it, and then what we'll do is let's put the details of our source server. Yeah. Key in the username and password. Then click on select database for migration. Okay, so it's connected now, and if you see here, we are able to see that database on the on-premise server, which is JVDB. Let's select that. It's close to 9 GB here. Let's click on connect to target Azure SQL Database. And if you see here, it has automatically picked up the required SQL Server on Azure. So in my case, the Azure SQL Database Server is JBS Server, and the database name is JBDB, which I'll be selecting, but the Azure SQL Database Server would be JBS Server. So let's provide the username and password here. Yep. So once the password is provided, let's click on map source and target database. Okay, so the target database in my case would be JBDB. So let's select that and then click on select database tables to migrate. Okay, so you can select the required tables here. In my case, I need all the tables, so I've selected all the tables. Let's click on database migration summary here, and then you can have a look on the details here. Yeah, and once you are fine, you just need to click on start migration. So now if you see here, the migration status is it's currently getting created. Yeah. Let's wait for it to get created and then we'll take it from there. We will soon see this as in progress, yeah, and then the actual migration will start from there. Okay, so it's in progress now, if you can see here. So if you scroll to the right here, what you can do is you can click on these three dots and then click on view migration details, yeah, and then you will be able to see the required things here. Yeah, once the schema migration status is completed, and then once our actual data migration starts between these two database servers, you will be able to see the table name, and then you will be able to get more details. I will show those details once the migration starts. Let's wait for it to complete or once it becomes in progress as far as the data movement is concerned, we'll be able to see further details. Okay, if you guys see here, the schema migration status is completed. Yeah, script deployment is 100%. Now what we'll do is let's try refreshing this database and then see if we are able to see any of the tables there. Yep, so previously this particular folder was all empty. Now we are able to see some tables there. So what we'll do now is let's see if we have anything inside this particular table. Yeah. So if I execute it, it's all empty now. Yeah. So now we just have this schema migrated. Now the table data is getting it will soon be the migration will start, and then now if you click on refresh, you will be able to see the details here once the actual migration starts. Okay, so let's do a refresh, and then if you can see here, we're able to see that each of these tables data is getting copied now. Yeah, so we have this particular table with the status of copying, and everything else is preparing for copy. So soon we will be once the copy starts, we'll be able to see that the data is getting moved, that is copied from your on-premise SQL to Azure SQL Database. Okay, so more details we are seeing some of the tables copy as finished. Yeah, if you see here, these are tables with fewer rows. Yeah, so 2 rows, 8 rows, and 15 rows. And if you can see here, we have completed the copy. So what we'll do is let's try querying this and then see if you're able to see any data there. INKTYPES. And if you see here, we are able to see the data there. The link types has got 2 rows, and we are able to see that. And now if you look at this post links, if you check that, yes, you can see that we are able to see the required data. So there are close to 161,519 rows. Yeah, 161,519 rows. So these 4 tables are completed, and other tables are the data is getting copied. If you can see here. Yep. So close to 5 tables copy is completed. 4 more is there. But if you look at the size of the tables, the one that are completed, they are kind of very small. But these 3 tables seems to be a little huge, close to these 2 things are close to 800, 900 MB, and this one is 156 MB. So let's give it some more time. What I'll do is I'll pause this video, and once this completes, I will let you guys know. Let's check the status once. Let's refresh it, and if you can see here, it has all succeeded here. All the tables are migrated. So now what we'll do is let's cut the status here. So let's do a refresh. So if you see here, it's very clear that the migration is completed successfully. So all the table has been moved across. The data is also moved across. So this is the way that we will be able to migrate the data from on-premise to Azure SQL Database. And the easiest and efficient way is to utilize database migration services. In order to make the import and export a little faster, what we can do is we can also create a private endpoint for the Azure SQL database, and then the DMS can utilize that, and then we can increase the import speed to a greater extent if you want to use that. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.